A tropical wave, identified as Invest 97L by the National Hurricane Center, NHC, is forming off the American coastline with a 70% chance of developing further. Florida could potentially be impacted as the system moves closer, prompting hurricane trackers to monitor the situation closely and raise alerts for possible severe weather conditions. Currently, the tropical system is drenching the islands of Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands with significant rainfall. The National Hurricane Center indicates that this system might soon set its sights on Florida, commonly referred to as the Sunshine State, as it continues its path northward. Meteorologist George Waldenberga from Channel 9 News has reported that the tropical wave is likely to develop by this weekend or early next week. He stated, "For now, expect a higher chance of heavier rain Sunday, Monday, and possibly beyond," highlighting the immediate weather risks as the system approaches. The sea temperatures are unusually high, in the upper 80s, which could fuel the system's growth into a stronger storm or even a hurricane. Chief Meteorologist Tom Terry of Channel 9 News noted on Thursday morning, "Water temperatures are in the upper 80s, adding plenty of fuel for this system to grow into Debbie, possibly even a hurricane by late weekend and early next week near our west coast." As the tropical storm lacks a well-defined center at this stage, it shows signs of organizing as it moves closer to Florida. Meteorologists are closely watching its development, as the organizing system could bring more severe weather to the state in the coming days. The storm is expected to impact Cuba and the western Bahamas by Friday, bringing heavy rain. Meteorologists are monitoring its strength and path closely as it could significantly affect weather conditions in these regions before potentially reaching Florida. The forecast for Florida anticipates downpours and gusty thunderstorms hitting the Keys and southern peninsula by Saturday. The conditions are expected to escalate from Sunday, with an increased risk of tropical storm or hurricane conditions, according to AccuWeather. The trajectory of the tropical wave remains uncertain, with possibilities of it hitting Florida's east coast or diverting into the Gulf of Mexico. The development and path of the storm are critical factors that will determine the areas most at risk. The region is still recovering from Hurricane Beryl, which struck Texas and the Mississippi Valley earlier in the month, resulting in at least 8 fatalities and leaving more than 2.7 million without power. This history highlights the potential dangers of the current tropical wave as communities brace for possible impacts. The National Hurricane Center has started to issue warnings about another potential storm, Debbie, brewing east of the Lesser Antilles. Texas storm chasers recently posted, "The chances of tropical development have bumped up to 40% within 7 days, signaling another storm that could affect the region soon." Forecast maps show Debbie possibly sweeping across the Caribbean and across Florida, with a chance of making landfall anywhere in the Gulf of Mexico or the Carolinas. These predictions are being taken seriously as they could affect a broad area with varying degrees of weather severity. With August typically being a busy month for tropical activity, the presence of high-pressure areas near Bermuda and over the southern plains could influence the path of the storm towards Texas or up the eastern seaboard. Emergency services and communities are preparing for a range of scenarios as the storm develops.